Okay.
How do you do? We're about to unfold the story of the Son of Frankenstein.
This one is probably just as bad as his father. Good morning, son.
Well, hello.
My son, you have inherited the fortune of the Frankensteins. I trust you will not inherit their fate.
By heaven, I think you're a worse fiend than your father. What are you gonna do about it? There's a monster afoot and you know it.
Well, we warn you.
You've been warned. Welcome back to Frankenstein Minute, the podcast that dissects the Universal Frankenstein film series minute by minute. I am Thom Lang.
And I am Bill Evenson, and this is this is my minute.
Oh, let's start over then.
That's all right, we'll keep it.
You told me to start.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember what I said.
Go ahead. Okay, start over.
Are you sure? We were doing so well.
Oh, all right, we'll leave it.
Okay. And this is minute 5 of Universal's 1939 film, Son of Frankenstein.
Are we sure now?
I love all of this. This all has to stay.
Fine. Okay.
In which a train comes in, and there's some people on a train, and it's a little boy.
But they're
there's
not-
a child
they're
with
not
curly
strangers.
blonde hair, like Gene Wilder.
They're not strangers on a train, though, are they? They appear to know each other.
They don't seem. Yeah, they do appear to know each other. Yeah, there's a history.
Oh, so you're saying? So what you're saying is that this is Freddy?
I'm just saying, there's a boy with curly
curly hair.
blonde hair like Gene Wilder. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Josephine Hutchinson. I assume you've got a whole thing.
Not a lot, but yeah, I like Josephine Hutchinson in this a lot.
I like her in this a lot. I think it does I think I've even said this on other minutes, but and we'll see it coming up.
Yeah.
But she brings up some of the scenes quite a bit.
Yeah,
like when they're in danger of falling apart, she'll kind of be the rock that stabilizes it.
Yeah,
I don't think you got that at all from what's her name?
Hobson.
She had some good scenes, but she didn't do that. And I don't know if Mae Clark had that up. Maybe she did a little.
Yeah, she did, because they show up at the tower.
That's actually true. When they show up at the tower, yeah, she stabilizes
like, okay,
it. Yeah, because
fine.
Lord knows Bowles isn't helping.
Yeah, she's like, okay, fine, you're talking bullshit, but I trust you.
Mm-hmm.
Fine.
Yep. So then this film has no John Bowles in it, but it does have Donnie Donegan in it.
Right.
And so I think you'll see that it helps a little.
It does.
It takes a little bit of the. She takes a little bit of the edge off the Donnie Donegan problem.
Yeah. Josephine Hutchinson, October 12th, 1903, in Seattle, Washington. Died at the age of 94, June 4th, 1998.
Woodland Hills, California.
New York City.
Oh, Woodland Hills, New York.
Yep.
Okay.
75 credits from 1917 to 1974. Really, the only two that I thought were, interesting in terms of the genre we're talking about. North by Northwest.
In which she plays a character whose name is Handsome Woman. That's what it says in one credit.
Yeah,
because you don't actually find out her actual identity. She claims to be
Mrs. Townsend.
Mrs. Townsend, but she's not. That's all we know for sure is she's not Mrs. Townsend.
No.
So I saw one credit that said Handsome Woman.
IMDb has her as Mrs. Townsend, which is wrong.
Yeah. No.
She's posing as Mrs. Townsend.
I thought it was IMDb. Maybe it's Wikipedia or something that says not Mrs. Thompson in quotes.
Okay.
So I would accept that as a title, or as her character, yeah.
She's the one, you didn't take Laura's Mercedes.
It's actually really great, that scene. I just went back in and watched it to make sure that I was remembering it right. And Grant, of course, is perfect in that. But he actually at one point says, like, what a performance!
Yeah.
He's talking about her.
Yeah. The only other really genre noteworthy is an episode of The Twilight Zone, I Sing the Body Electric.
Don't know it.
Which is an excellent, she's like a robot grandmother, based on a Ray Bradbury story, which gives it, elevates it up here already.
Sure.
Then Serling adapted it as a script.
Okay.
And she's great. She's great in it. I just watched it not too long ago.
I just put the whole series up on that shelf because I couldn't think of where else to put it. It's on the Universal shelf there, you see there.
Yeah. I don't know what to tell you there, but...
all right. I like her here. She says, that's right. Amelia will be there waiting for you, and so glad to see you. Like, she even sounds like there's a comma at the end. Then she gets up and leaves.
Yeah, I know. Well, and the little boy looks like...
Is that,
am I
are we done with this fun? Is that scene over?
As she's leaving the room and the camera's starting to track to the left, he finally closes his eyes like, oh, okay, I guess I'm going to sleep now.
Yeah. I like the nice segue. The camera goes through the wall.
Yeah.
We got a James Whale camera through the wall.
It's
a very thin wall, so it doesn't... It's a little easier.
So it's not going to take as long to go through that wall.
That's true.
Do we want to talk about what is said, or do we want to talk about who she is speaking to first?
I don't know.
Because this could go on for days.
Well, here's what I wrote for what is said. Exposition train to Plotsville.
Exactly.
That's what I think this
That
is.
is exactly what it is.
But it's interesting. Let's talk about what's said then, I guess.
Well, she says, what strange-looking country. And
Well, I have something on that, which is great, because she's so upbeat. It's fucking Mordor out the
yeah,
window.
no kidding.
And she's like, oh, isn't that odd?
And they're apparently going around in circles because they keep passing the same trees over and
Oh,
over.
do they?
It's
I
like the
didn't notice
Flintstones.
that. I didn't
I'm sure
notice
it's a model that
Yeah.
is on a revolve. That
Well, it looks. I didn't notice that, so to me, it looks fine. I mean, okay, so you're saying it's an actual. Those are actual things going by. It's not like a projection. It's not real.
No, it's a projection. Yeah,
Oh,
it was
okay.
a model that was on a revolve, like the beginning of The Mummy, how the credits sort of revolved, and then it was filmed that way and then projected into the window.
Okay, all right. But yes, what strange looking country. Not
Yeah,
much like America, is it? So like every line kind of builds on the last line.
Right.
Because he says that, then she has to say something to indicate that they were that they used to live in America. You know, like everything has to set that up the next line.
Well, I think they
all
do.
very
They
awkward.
do actually. This scene doesn't actually does a good job with the exposition.
Yeah, it gets the.
Because we don't have 8 scenes telling us that he was a college professor in America like we do for the rest of the film. Every other thing that happens is over-explained.
Yeah.
It's if you blink, you miss it. Oh yeah, no more classrooms, no more board meetings. He was a professor in America. He's come to Europe to claim his inheritance.
He really hated being a professor. He's so
He
over
could
the
not
moon.
Could not be happier to be inheriting a dump.
Yeah,
like this.
they're moving to they've left behind everything they've ever known together and taken their child from America to Europe somewhere.
Somewhere in Europe.
We don't know what the name of the town is yet.
I guess not.
To live in an abandoned medieval castle, and they couldn't be happier. He's like, no more fucking faculty
Fuck
meetings.
those assholes.
Like, who hates being a college professor? Obviously he didn't have tenure. I don't know.
Yeah, he must
was
not
just
have, because
like, God
he was-
damn it,
if
fuck
he was-
you people.
If he was able to walk
Can't
away,
wait to leave.
if he was able to walk away that easily,
Yeah.
he clearly didn't have.
He
tenure.
got into it for the wrong reasons and hated it.
No, he's going to find his true calling.
Apparently, as a castle living
Lord of
person.
the or
Lord
well,
of
a baron.
Manor.
I suppose he's a
I guess
baron.
Lord of the he's a
He's
baron.
a baron now.
Now, that's a good point. He's
It's
a baron.
never-
Glad we settled that.
Yes, we must be getting close to the village. If that's the landscape around the village.
Well, I'm assuming it's based on the approximate time, because she said the same thing to Donnie, to
Yeah.
Peter. She
Yeah,
says
we're almost
whatever
there.
she says.
Yeah.
We're almost there, which I think is great too, because so you're in a, like you say, a sleeper car, and you're almost there.
So tuck
You
the kid
in, because I just have had enough. Just go to sleep.
You know, there is something to be said for that.
We've got 3 minutes. Can you close your eyes for
Just
3 fucking minutes?
Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie. We've started.
Yep. Well, his lineage is all but unintelligible without the subtitle.
Oh yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, that's
It's
going to
the
be
first,
the
the
theme.
first of many unintelligible
Yeah.
lines.
I completely agree. We talked about the subtitle last week or the week before. It was the week before, where
It was
the subtitle says
inaccurate.
"enough guard, enough." But you're right.
Yeah.
It's enough talk, enough. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
But in this case, thank
it's
God
like,
for the
somebody,
subtitle.
the
because-
poor guy doing the subtitles put all his work into this. Kept rewinding it, slow motion. What a mess. I haven't
You-
seen
you
Bambi
couldn't-
in a while.
you
Is it a little
couldn't-
more coherent?
It was the last thing he did, so yeah.
Okay.
And it was for Disney, so I'm sure there were take after take after take to get it right. Here it seems like, oh yeah, we got it. It was close enough.
Take one. Just we'll keep going. Go to the left. Go, go. There's like a guy behind the camera telling her, go, go, go. He said Amelia. That's fine. He finally got that word out.
That would be the assistant director that you'd asked about a few weeks back.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's his role.
That's his
Just
role.
wave frantically. Go through the wall, or through the wall is one of his lines later.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, there's so much that's going on here, to be honest, with regards to the dialogue. So they're super excited to be moving into Wolf's dad's house. There's no question that they've never been there. Like, so much is established here.
Right.
They don't even know what it looks like. It's beyond their imagination.
Yeah.
We could never possibly imagine what it's like, which, of course, then they next try to imagine what it would be like,
Yeah.
which is cute.
Which is,
They don't know if there's a
drawbridge
moat or
and
a
a
drawbridge. By the way, there is.
Yeah, there's a
We
drawbridge.
see-
We've seen a drawbridge.
We saw the drawbridge. Well, I guess I assume a moat then.
We
I
took
suppose it
it.
could just be a
We took it as read for the last film that there was
could
a
just be a
moat.
ditch.
We took it for granted that there was a
That there's a moat. All right. So what happened is Henry and Elizabeth escaped from
the tower exploding.
the mill, the old mill,
The old windmill.
and immediately moved away. Well, maybe they didn't immediately move away, but they had kids. We know they had at least one kid, but we know later there's going to be even dispute about it later.
Yeah,
how many? There's so many.
There's
Dozens.
Frankenstein's running all over.
They're all over the place. They took at least Wolf and raised him in America? Or we don't know that.
We don't know.
He seems British.
He is British. Yeah, it's
She was born in Seattle, Washington.
yes.
So
Josephine?
she's American. He's British. They raised them somewhere else so you could see kind of how some of this might work. Henry would want to do that because he's embarrassed and ashamed, and he's abandoned his old homeland because of all he did was bring horror.
So then did he have the burgomaster come to him when he was dying?
Yeah,
It's
like on his deathbed
here
in America.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, because the first shot we see of the castle is that matte painting, and it has the gate with the window and stuff, and the window's all busted up and dirty. The door itself has got shit splattered all over it, like no one has been there
except Igor.
Yep. Crazy old Igor with his broken
kids.
neck.
Yep.
And the kids throwing rocks at it. So it is possible that after the events of Bride, they got out of there.
Igor moved in.
Yeah, we don't know.
Igor knew. So there's another thing because Igor knew. Well, we'll get into that later, I guess. But Igor knew Henry.
It sounds like it.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
We'll get there. It's probably a year from now.
could very well be.
No, I bet it's 4 months.
A couple months, yeah.
But so there is an event that has taken place that is causing this movie to happen, and what is that called? Like a something event. Someone's yelling it right now. It's something event. I almost got it. Anyways,
I know what you mean, and I can't think of it either.
And that event is Henry's death,
Yes.
because Henry has died, and that's what we're talking about in the courtroom, and that's what has caused Wolf to come home. It's his inheritance. He has come to claim his inheritance. Right. The reason I'm saying all this is because I think there's a possibility that you could read it as maybe Henry died 5 years ago.
It could be.
You don't know for sure. They don't say he just died.
Right.
But it really seems like everything is set up to make you feel like Henry died, now Wolf can throw his whole fucking life away and do what he always wanted to do.
Become
like
a baron.
The only thing stopping him from moving into this musty old castle
was Henry.
Medieval castle,
He didn't want to piss off the old man.
I guess. Or Henry forbid it?
Forbade it, maybe, yeah.
Okay, so if he forbade it, he set it up to happen, though.
Yeah,
he said, all right,
on my death,
once I die, move in.
Move in.
Here, burgomaster.
Here's all the notes. I did this horrible thing.
Well, a chest of papers is all we know this far, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
And something else in the little box. I won't spoil it.
It's basically set up to fail.
Yeah.
Again.
I guess you're right.
Well, the overarching. We don't. Yeah. Okay.
I don't. You're
early in the film to say.
I don't know what Henry's motivation is.
No, we don't. But is this thought through all the way?
It doesn't make any sense at all. Yeah, that he would take him away from this horrible place and then set it all up so that he can move back in as soon as he dies.
Here you go. Here's everything that you need. Here's your little monster kit right here.
Do you have a will?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah. What?
It needs some.
It needs some work. Like, are you leaving anything to those rotten kids?
Let them fuckers can fend for themselves.
Yeah, let them. Come on. Do you have anything that? No.
Do you have anything of value?
No, I was going to say, do you have anything that they're forbidden from doing until your death? It just seems like such an odd...
now I think there should be.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll see what I want to
something in the backyard. What a chest of papers.
Add is one of those weird codicils that you don't get anything unless you're married by midnight on a certain date.
Okay, so it sets everything into motion. Henry dies and sets everything into motion. Wolf went in, took a shit on his boss's desk. He's done. He punched the secretary in the face.
Lit his office on fire.
Set the place on fire. The burgomaster swore a blood oath to deliver a chest of papers. Rathbone, you're going to go into this, but he's 47 here. I mean, he could be playing 35.
No, the
he could be playing 22.
He's in his late 20s, I think. I think the script, as useless as it is, but I think it has him as being in his late 20s.
I should say, I didn't even put this down, but that's the only thing that I see in the script that there's very little in the script that you can translate to these minutes. And this minute's one of them.
Yeah.
They have this conversation more or less, and it's even more explicitly stated that Henry has just died. But they're in a car.
They're driving,
Wolf is driving. Elsa, whose name is spelled Else.
Yeah.
And then little Irwin is asleep on the front seat with him.
Yeah,
That's
it's almost a shame they changed that name from Irwin to Peter.
Irwin to Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we'd hate him even more if he was Irwin.
Little Irwin. Yeah, that does seem a little bit more despicable.
Although it doesn't have the shut the fuck up Irwin. Doesn't have the
true.
Same,
well, that we could still say that though, because the character's name is not Donnie, contrary to popular belief. So for 47 years, okay, let's just say 29 years.
Okay, because in Frankenstein, Henry is supposed to be in his 20s.
Okay.
Clive was 31.
That's still your 20s.
But I mean, all these characters are younger than the actors playing them, I think, to some degree.
Okay, so he's 22.
No, I'm not saying 22. He wouldn't be a professor at age 22.
Good point.
He's got to be like 26.
Okay, he's 20.
I don't know.
I love it.
No idea.
He's 26. Still, 26 years that Igor and his broken neck been living up on and spent his whole life waiting for this. Because the reason they say this is because they're so fucking completely psyched to throw everything away.
Yeah.
That's why I say he took a shit on his boss's desk and punched the secretary in the face. It's because he can't wait. He's so excited. You never see him more giddy than this.
No.
This is the most excited.
The thing that we'll find out in the next minute is he knows exactly what happened here.
Yeah.
He knows why his father didn't want to be there.
Yep.
Yet he can't wait to dive right in.
Yeah, it's going to be so great.
If that had been my father, I want to get as far away from that embarrassment as I possibly can.
You'd kind of think so. If you had any other kids, spoilers for 2 years from now, they must be far away from there and don't want to have a thing to do with it.
So, do we want to talk about...
The gentleman in question.
The gentleman in question is Basil Rathbone, born June 13th, 1892 in Johannesburg, South Africa.
Yeah, that's where he took the kid. Okay, so that's where Henry moved
to. The kids, yeah.
Johannesburg.
Died July 21st, 1967. Not in Woodland Hills, but New York City.
Like the last guy. What was his name? No, she.
She did.
Josephine.
He was only 75 years old when he passed away. 124 credits from 1921 through 1968. The Bishop murder case, I believe, is the first Philo Vance film, and he plays Philo Vance, a part that was later adopted by William Powell, who's better. David Copperfield, Sale of Two Titties.
With Lionel Belmore, whatever.
Yeah, Captain Blood, Romeo and Juliet, Adventures of Marco Polo, Adventures of Robin Hood. He is outstanding in the Adventures of Robin Hood as the Sheriff of Nottingham.
Yeah, he had a hell of a year.
39 was a good year for him. Dawn Patrol, Hound of the Baskervilles, and 13 other Sherlock Holmes films. I wasn't going to list them all.
We talked about this the other week, so I shouldn't go into too much detail on it, I suppose, but it is fascinating to think that the shooting dates are almost exactly the same. They overlap more than they don't. There's like a month on one that's not on the other.
Yeah.
He's doing Hound of the Baskervilles and this film at the exact same time.
Tower of London. The Mad Doctor, which sounds like it'd be a great horror film, it is not.
Okay. It's just about
I made that mistake when I was a kid, staying up late to watch it. Yeah,
And he just
he's
gets
like more
angry.
like an angry doctor.
Like, oh, shoot. Somebody took my doctor's parking space again.
The Black Cat of 1941. Crazy House, an Olsen and Johnson comedy in which he has a little cameo as Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, that's cute.
It is kind of cute. Casanova's Big Night with Bob Hope. Christmas Carol of 1954, he plays Jacob Marley.
Oh.
He's perfect as a ghost like that.
Which one is that? Is that the 54? Maybe I don't know that one.
We're No Angels with Humphrey Bogart. Court Jester with Danny Kaye. The Black Sleep, which has come up a number of times before. We thought he's great in that.
Yeah, that film would completely fall apart without him.
No, he's definitely the glue that holds that together. TV movie or production called The Lark with Boris Karloff, who had played this very successfully on Broadway. And they did a TV adaptation. I don't think Rathbone was in the Broadway production.
Okay.
The Magic Sword, which is another Mystery Science Theater
Yeah.
favorite. One of my favorites.
And not a bad movie, really. Well, I shouldn't say that. Okay, it's a bad movie. It's a Mystery Science Theater. But it's kind of the higher end
of the
that I don't know.
And it's actually one of Bert I. Gordon's better films.
Yeah,
is saying a lot without being sarcastic.
Yeah,
that says a lot.
Yeah.
Comedy of Terrors, which is a film that I really, really like a lot.
Yeah.
What place is this?
So we went to Target's the other day.
Yeah.
And Jason that's the one, right? Comedy of Terrors, where Boris Karloff is practically mute in it.
He's not mute, he's this feeble old man.
Feeble old man, yeah. And that's what Jason was expecting. So he thought that Karloff was old and infirm and whatever, and barely capable of that.
Yeah.
So that was a surprise to him to see Targets, because Karloff
so robust
carries that
and-
film.
yeah,
He's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool. That was kind of cool to see that, because he was literally blown away. Well, I say literally. He didn't get blown away. No, he's alive. He's okay.
Because I saw him the following week.
We're having dinner with him day after tomorrow.
Yeah. I saw him the following week at the Mystery of the Wax Museum.
Okay, good.
Something that I could find very little about, but now I want to see this more than I want to see anything I've ever wanted to see in my life.
Okay.
Dr. Rock and Mr. Roll, starring Sonny Bono and Hans Hall. I have to see this before I die. I have no idea what it is. I could find very little about it. I really obviously didn't put a whole lot of effort into that. I'm sure it's out there somewhere.
Sonny Bono is one of the more interesting creatures to ever exist on Earth. The thing he was most famous for, and he had a weekly variety show
with,
where he was huge
Cher's
part of it.
Well, he was Cher's straight man for the most part, but he was the driving force.
Yeah,
behind the scenes.
And just every moment that you look at him, you're like, "What are you doing there? How did this happen to you?
Yeah,
how did you get this?"
Talented
and then
songwriter.
He died. Well, that's true. I'll give you that.
He's a talented songwriter, and their songwriters get better cuts.
Yeah.
Because of him.
Yeah, true.
The Sonny Bono act.
I forgot about the Sonny Bono act.
But yeah, he died in such an odd...
Yeah, did he hit a tree?
Tree while skiing. Yeah.
You can get really badly hurt skiing.
Oh, yeah, I know someone who probably won't walk again. I don't know them, but know of them.
Really?
Yeah.
One of the Kennedys.
Well, yeah.
I can't remember which Kennedy. One of the lesser Kennedys.
Larry.
Yeah,
Larry Kennedy.
Larry Stinky Kennedy.
And we're back.
Yeah.
Queen of Blood, which is an interesting sci-fi.
He plays the queen.
Ghost in the Invisible Bikini. Which is terrible. It's a terrible, horrible movie, and I love it.
So if you're in an invisible bikini, then it's just like being naked.
You see through her behind,
for some reason, you're even trying to gesture at your own body like this is helping.
It's not. Never mind. It's the very last of that run of beach party movies.
Okay.
And clearly the well had run dry.
Yeah.
But any film with Harvey Limbeck as Eric Von Zipper, I'm there. I am all over that. I love that character. He's hilarious. I don't care what anybody says. I unapologetically love Eric Von Zipper. Karloff was added as a last minute thing.
Oh, is that right?
This film makes no sense. We need something to give it some structure. So he's like is a character they referred to throughout the film, but they never showed him. But then they added dead. People are gathering at his house for the will, the whole thing.
Okay.
It's got a guy in a gorilla suit. Anytime you got
at the reading of the will?
And Rathbone is in it, and like Francis X. Bushman is in it. Buster Keaton was supposed to be, but he died.
Okay, that's a good excuse.
Benny Rubin in his place, which is a pretty sorry substitute.
Yeah.
It's just dumb fun. Nancy Sinatra is in it.
Does she walk in the boots?
She
That's all I know.
She doesn't, but she does
walking in them boots.
She does a couple other songs. And there's this gal, Quinn O'Hara, who I think she's Rathbone's daughter.
Okay.
So she's sort of the early goth chick, but she's not goth.
Okay.
But she's trying to kill all the characters.
What year did you say this was?
This is like 67.
Okay.
And then his final film?
Let me just say, the reason I asked that was because I'm reading a book about the Beatles.
Yeah.
It's not true. I'm actually reading two books about the Beatles. I have one that I read at one point of the day and another one that I read at another point of the day. and the one one of them ones I was looking at was they're talking about in 1965, the Mods and Rockers in Brighton, where they were getting to these brutal battles in huge, Brighton, which was, it seems obvious it was an overblown thing by the press. One of that, especially at that point in the 60s, it was easy for the press to overblow the youth, the problems of the youth.
All that,
Little did they know. They put out a headline, Goths by the Sea. And I just thought, and I still think, Goths? What does that mean in 1965? I can't quite picture. Anyway, go ahead.
His final film, another film that I enjoy that I really, really should not, Hillbillies in a Haunted House.
Okay.
Which has come up before, I believe.
I was going to say, I've heard of it in this podcast.
Yeah.
Who's in it that would have come up before?
Cheney is in it.
Oh, okay. Who's not been in this film series yet?
Not yet. Carradine, my guy in a gorilla suit. That's what I love about it.
Okay. You can't go wrong with that.
Never.
I think the important thing to remember about Basil Rathbone is he played Sherlock Holmes in the
14 films.
14 films, 2 for who?
20th Century Fox.
And then eventually
Then Universal bought
So
the series from them.
12 of them are in the Universal Horrors book.
Yep.
They were the kind of movies that it's on right now. Just turn on TV on, it's probably on. It's just always been on in shitty
Saturday
old...
or Sunday morning, one of the broadcast channels here shows them.
Still? Yeah. They're just, and they've got the old copies
Shitty
where you
old,
can't see
beat up,
even what the fuck's
scratchy.
going on. It's just some people on a train and you can't even figure out
When I
what's
was a
going
kid,
on.
Sunday nights, 10:30 was World at War.
Oh, really?
A documentary series, yeah.
Oh, my favorite documentary series.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
I've seen it multiple times.
Yeah.
26 hours.
Well, I've seen it multiple times because it was always on TV.
Yeah.
Then following
the Blu-ray is really beautiful.
Is it? I should look at that. Following that would be the either Sherlock Holmes or Charlie Chan series.
Okay.
So, like my friend John, we have immensely nostalgic feelings for those.
So the other thing about that is when he was doing that, at the same time, he was doing the Sherlock Holmes radio series.
Yes.
So a lot of those are really good.
Yeah.
And just like the film series, almost all of it is made up. It's not
Conan Doyle.
Not Conan Doyle. The exception being Hound of the Baskervilles, which of course they made the film of, but also I'm pretty sure they made a radio series of it too. That's kind of the one. They'll make that one every time they do it.
Well, certainly, in the 50s, Hammer did it with Cushing.
There you go.
Cushing's probably actually a more authentic, and I got the finger quotes, Sherlock Holmes.
Really?
And I've read a lot of like really hardcore Holmes fans think he's like the most authentic.
Interesting.
It's really
because
good.
Jeremy Brett is the one that they say that.
Well,
that's
nowadays,
yeah. Oh, well, you say nowadays. He's been dead for 30 years.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know, but
and I've never seen the one with
Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, I've seen that, unfortunately. And
is that bad?
Find the negative and burn it because
I always think it must be better than I think because they're even making a third one now, and I like Robert Downey.
That doesn't
Jr.
matter if it's better or not.
No, that's probably a good point. They make those
Sherlock Holmes, I know, doesn't do like roundhouse kicks but
he does actually in the books, right? He's a boxer.
He's a boxer, but he's not doing like
roundhouse kicks,
slow motion flying through the air, and all that fucking bullshit that you see now in all these pieces of crap movies.
Even that movie is like 15 years old, probably.
Probably, but I thought it was terrible. Anyway,
but he's got a great. So the radio series that is Rathbone and Bruce.
Yeah,
Nigel
Bruce,
of them together.
Yeah.
And then after a few years, Rathbone drops out, and it's still Nigel Bruce. He does another few years with another guy. These are all available for nothing at archive.org.
Well, I'm sure they're on YouTube as well, or wherever.
Oh, probably, yeah. I'm trying to think, where did I
and
just
are some of them, or do they have some of them as a special feature on the Blu-ray set?
I don't remember that. Probably.
Yeah, I need to get that. I have like volume 1 of the DVD, and it's like what, $60. I should.
I'm gonna be honest. Volume 1 is are the highlights. It's a big drop off.
There is a precipitous.
It's a big drop off when they go to Universal, and then it just gets worse. Well, then there's some highlights.
There's some peaks in there. Yeah,
there's some highlights later. Yeah, that's the Rathbone story. He's the Sherlock Holmes thing sticks to him.
Yeah, indelibly. And that I would say 90% of the people that think of Sherlock Holmes visually picture him. With that profile, the deerstalker cap, which is from the stories.
Yeah, there's illustrations that went along with the original short stories when they were printed in Strand magazine. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't look unlike that at all.
Yeah, he's got that profile.
He's got a little bit more hair. Holmes is a little bit more like a Bill Evenson Widow's Peak.
Some of them, some of the early Universals, he's got that really funky haircut. It's like comb over, and it looks like a Hans Conried character rather than Basil Rathbone.
Well, for people who haven't seen him, it's as soon as he goes to Universal, it becomes a modern day thing, right? Which is sort of more forgivable.
But some parts of it still feel like it's Victorian. Like certainly his apartment is as described in Victorian era, and it hasn't changed.
Yeah.
And then some of the stories he'll go to like up northern England in the moors and stuff. It feels very much of a period.
Yep. Have you been to 221B Baker Street?
I have not.
It's there. They have it, and you go in, and there's a room that looks about like that, and then most of it is just full of stuff you can buy. It's like going to you've seen that Monty Python extra where Terry Jones and Michael Palin,
they go to the castle that they shot.
Go to the actual castle, and it's just a shop. Well, it isn't. There's obviously a lot to look at there, but then there's a shop where you can buy all kinds of stuff.
They have to buy the book because they can't remember all this stuff. Yeah,
I don't have that script. They buy a copy of that script that has it's like a third or more of stuff that's not in the movie.
Yeah, there's a big section that's crossed out. Yeah.
Yeah, I need
You don't
to
have
get
it?
that.
Oh,
I don't
you
have
gotta get that. I've got
How much of that shows up in that season 4 of Monty Python?
Oh, the initial script.
Yeah, a lot of it comes back.
Most of that comes back in the season 4. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is why Cleese
Michael
gets,
Ellis.
Yeah, that whole thing, and that's why Cleese gets a writing credit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Follow us on.
Before we go, we should talk about.
Is this all right? We should talk
We should.
about
We've
that.
referenced him a few times.
All right.
There's an actor who we see in the beginning of the minute when it does the lap dissolve from the model to inside the sleeper car. Josephine Hutchinson is talking to a little boy,
and he says, "Oh, good. That way I can see Amelia," or something like that.
That's what the subtitle says. He says, "Yeah."
That's good slug, Sylvia.
Donald Roan Dunnigan.
Donald Roan Dunnigan.
Born August 16th, 1934.
I'm just Ed McMahon in these parts.
Thank you. Age 86 now, currently. Born in San Antonio, Texas, and you can certainly tell. He's got the accent. 9 credits.
9?
From 1930. Oh, he was a kid.
Yeah.
1938 to 2003, although the last couple are not really. I wrote them all down. Mother Carey's Chickens.
Yep.
Yeah.
A classic.
Yep. Tower.
He played the chicken.
Yes, Son of Frankenstein. He's actually the grandson of Frankenstein.
I suppose so.
Forgotten Woman. I never remember that one.
Yeah, that's the one that people don't remember.
Tower of London. Vigil in the Night.
I'm sorry, what's he? He's in Tower of London? Oh, that's funny.
Vigil in the Night.
So Roland V. Lee made this movie and then decided to bring Karloff, Rathbone, and Dunnigan.
And here's
Josephine Hutchinson was busy?
She must have been. And here's the thing, he was such a champion of Lugosi.
Lugosi, yeah.
Why didn't he bring him along as well?
Totally, yeah.
Throw him a bone, for fuck's sake. Meet the Chump.
Yep, plays the chump.
And the second thing he's most known for, he's the voice of the young Bambi.
Yep.
The other 2 credits.
It's just the young. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
It's just the young. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. And what year is Bambi?
It's like 41.
Okay.
2. Winter Wonderland, which is a 4-video thing that Disney put out. He's listed as Bambi, so I'm assuming they just used audio from the original film. Then something that's filming now currently, according to IMDb, but I couldn't find out much else about it. Something called Sub Rosa.
That's his next credit?
Yeah, he's like billed second, according to IMDb. It's being shot in Texas where he lives.
Okay, Sub Rosa.
We can mock him all we want,
Which means red submarine in Spanish, in Portuguese.
Okay, mock him all we want. He enlisted in the Marine Corps in 1952 at the age of 18 and became the youngest drill instructor ever.
Okay.
Did 3 tours in Vietnam.
Can you imagine him as a drill instructor?
Yeah!
Yeah, in the morning.
Yeah.
That's instead of playing taps or not taps, whatever they play.
Reveille.
He comes in.
Yes. Did 3 tours in Vietnam. Wounded multiple times. Received 3 Purple Hearts and a Bronze Star, and retired as a major in 1977. So no slouch.
Yeah,
you know, we'll mock him mercilessly for the next, 97 weeks, but no slouch as a person, I'm assuming. I mean, I'm not big on military or, good for you, but, good for him. I mean, that's quite an accomplishment, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Like my nephew just made Eagle Scout. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. But apparently that's a huge deal.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest one you can do on your, like, you remember the films of the Hitler Youth.
Right, yeah.
Let's see, we got everything. Moat, drawbridge. Hates being a college professor.
Hitler Youth, we got that in there.
No more college classrooms, no more faculty meetings, just smoke and fog and dead trees.
No more teachers, no more books. No more
teachers, dirty looks.
Whatever it was, yeah.
Mordor. All right, I think we got it all.
All right, we're good.
We have now met, that's what I was going to say. Minute 5, we have now met all of our main cast with one notable exception.
Huge exception.
And we'll just call him question mark until he comes around. I think that's it.
Do we have to? Because at this point, is it any...
I don't care what you do. You do whatever you have to.
We've mentioned him because he's listed second in the credits.
Think about it. But now you've gone back and bleeped all those out.
Have I?
Yes, you have. If you haven't, then there's a special edition episode only for Patreons.
I could barely finish these, let alone do anything special.
Okay.
All right, that's all I got. So
that's minute 5.
Follow us at the bus station.
Follow us around like Coles.
Well, it's apparently you frequent because you're wearing a shirt from
We're
Kohl's.
It's on the back here. It says Universal Monsters. It at least purports to be an official
Well, it is an image.
Frankenstein
from, it is
picture.
Karloff, clearly.
Yep, it's clearly Karloff. That's it.
That's what we got.
Follow us on Twitter, where I'll just post the same shit that I post everywhere else. But we're in the usual places: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Patreon.
MySpace.
No, we're on the Classic Horror Film Board. If you go to Patreon and just for $2 a month, you get every episode 1 day early on Frankenstein Thursday and immediate access to any and all of our bonus episodes. They actually have a way you can do that. You can go to, there's a pull down menu, you just go to our episodes and then they say just select the tier. If you select the friend tier, it'll only show you those episodes that are exclusive to the friends.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah, so then you get all the bonus. You can download them all, cancel your, no, don't cancel.
There's hundreds of them, too.
There's got to be. At this point, it's got to be, I was going to say thousands.
Oh, maybe.
Actually, I think it's like 9.
Okay.
Probably not.
Yeah. Well, we'll have one coming up as soon as...
Oh, I love when you make these promises. This is great.
I'm not saying when. Coming up
Coming
could be
up.
anytime in the next 8 years, but where we...
Is the
we
Gilbert
have some-
one?
Well, there's that one, too, but
Yeah.
we've got the Lightning Round
That's right.
episode.
The Frankenstein Minute Patreon exclusive Lightning Round episodes.
Yep.
Or episode. I don't know.
I think we're going to get one.
You're just going to
Yeah, I
put
think
them all in
we'll
one?
put it all in
Okay.
one.
All right. Find out what the Lightning Round is.
Yep.